All right, guys. So, yeah, I'm in trouble. Not in trouble, but I got a lot to do. It's Tuesday, and remember the motor was all messed up. I'm sorry I didn't catch all the footage that I needed to get to put it together because I've been like running low on time to record and try to get this project done before this weekend for WPGC Bike Fest. But this is what we got. A whole lot of nothing. We got the motor together, back in the frame and the cradle. We have like no oil pan, as you can see, no clutch basket. We got a bunch of stuff to get together. Like oil pan is here, stator stuff is there, oil cooler is there, clutch baskets here. This is old piston stuff. This is the one of the damaged pistons that I had. We got all types of stuff. Throttle bodies to put on. I had to source me out some more stock pistons. And that's another set of stock cams or whatever, so I can use that one piston that broke. And we have all the radiator stuff, all the exhaust stuff with all the bolts. We just have a lot to do today. My goal is to get this thing running. Yes. I want to have the motor together, up in the frame, and I want to be able to fire it up by the night. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna make that work. I'm like logged in at work, as you can see right there. So I'm like working remotely today, trying to work on the bike and do my full-time job at the same time or whatever. It's gonna be a task, but it's 9:39 and I basically have until 3 o'clock to do this, and I got to do both things. So I'm going to just keep tapping you guys in as I finish certain parts, and then cross the fingers that we get it done today or whatever, because tomorrow's Wednesday, and then I got to pull out Thursday to get down to the racetrack to get a good parking spot, and then qualifying's on Friday. So I at least would like to have the bike running today, so if there's any problems, I have one day to fix it versus getting it running by Wednesday and I'm out of time and I can't fix nothing, and then I'm like up shit's creek. So yeah, let's go. Okay, we got my oil cooler in. I mean, damn, look at me. Oil cooler. Oil pump gear in, and she's good to go. So I got the APE little cover, if you guys was ever wondering. One of the solutions that in the aftermarket world, oh my god, it's so dirty in there. One of the solutions in the aftermarket world of why oil pressure would miraculously drop and then you'll spin a bearing or mess up one of your bearings is because this plate here, the OEM plate, would flex, and then it would cause the oil pressure to drop. So they sell high output gear and this plate, but it was found out that the plate would suffice, so you don't have to do the gear and the oil pressure relief valve all together. I've been running just the plate all season, and was good to go. And it was not that my bearings messed up because I didn't do the gear or the high oil, or the high oil pressure relief valve. It was because my oil pickup was superb dirty, really dirty. So this is just a little tip. Get that, and you don't have to get the whole kit or whatever, where the gear and the oil pressure release valve, spend all that money. You just get this plate and you're good to go. But next is this clutch basket, and then I will update you from there later. Okay, clutch basket is in. Just gotta torque that thing down, torque the bolt down, and then that's that. Then I will go on the other side and do the stator, and then I will put the cover on there, put the clutches in there. It'll be good. And get a kid's little seat, man. It works out perfect if you need to work on the bike and sit at that level. You ain't gotta buy those little expensive shop roller seats. Just buy one of these kid seats from Walmart and you're good to go. Okay, clutches are in. Cover on. I'm about to put this cover on. If you're wondering what this number is, I always put on here. It's just a tip for you guys if you ever want to get into racing. That is a reference, so I know what my stack height started out as before I start racing, and then I will check it every couple passes or so. And that's basically, I take this micrometer and I go from, let's see, I go from that first plate right there, and I go all the way in, and I take a measurement. So then as my stack height reduces, I'll know where the starting point was, and then I have a certain number that once it reduces by so much, then I know that I need to go in there and replace some fibers, the ones that I wore down the most, to get it back up or close to my starting point. So just a little tip for you guys, so you guys know how we stay up on our clutch game. We do that. We just don't miraculously change them whenever. We either, if the bike is acting funny and your 60 foots are a little off, you kind of know, or if you catch it beforehand by checking this periodically, the stack height, you can catch yourself before you throw a pass away based on your clutches actually being worn out. So, all right, other than that, let's move on. Okay, guys, it's looking a little bit more like a motor. I got the clutch basket in. We already went over that. The cover's in on that side. I got stator cover on. I'm about to put water pump in. And then after I put the water pump in, which is down here, I'll put this oil cooler thingamajiggy back on. And then I'll get to that oil pan. And then that's throttle body stuff. And then I got my injectors right here that are, I know that are clean, because I had them clean, so I'm going to switch them on those, because those throttle bodies been sitting for a while. So I had 2 fuel rails, and since my throttle body has been sitting for a good while, I don't know if they, maybe clogged or whatever or whatnot, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it off, be safe, because I know those are good and clean, and then swap those and put those back on there, and then the rest is history, and I'll be good to go. So, all right, let's go. Okay, we're looking like a bike. I got throttle bodies on. I got my plugs in, coil packs. I'm just about ready to put my oil pan on, because right now it's no oil pan. And then I'll button up my headers, my radiator, and then she should be ready to fire up. What I did do also too, just to let you guys know, a little tip, some homemade velocity, not homemade, but OEM velocity stack hack. Take your 2 big ones that are out. Usually you have 2 big ones, 2 small ones, and then see if you can just find, like on eBay, somebody selling the OEM velocity stacks, and you could put 2 more small ones in there, and it's a little extra horsepower. So just note that. I did find out that I have a crack in my freaking cover right here for the what's that, the master cylinder for the clutch, and it's the front sprocket cover. So I got a buddy that's got one I need to go get. But other than that, we're going together pretty nicely. I will be rocking the motor up into the boots right here after I get the clamps on those, and then putting the motor mounts in, and then plugging in the last little bit of stuff over here that I need to plug in. Yeah, hopefully I'll be firing up tonight. I'll let you guys know later. Okay, we got the exhaust on. We got the motor up in the frame. Throttle bodies all buttoned up, everything tightened up. All we gotta do is put the radiator on, and we in there. And the back tire, and we in there. Radiator, back tire, and we in there. It's 11:07 on Wednesday night, and I'm burning the midnight oil right now. But we gotta get this done, so we're gonna knock this last little bit of stuff out, and the bike will be ready tomorrow we're gonna load up. Tomorrow after work, smoke on down to the track, park, get unloaded, and we're gonna see how the motor holds up. I should have a #1 bike now. I have a freaking fresh motor. From rags to riches, we are back. Look at that. Completely broke down to completely back together. Just before it's time to get busy. It's literally 11:48 on Thursday, and I just got it back all together. She fires up, she runs flawlessly. I love it. I think we got a winter bike this season. I do. I mean, even though firing right up. I gotta do a couple heat cycles, maybe like 2 or 3 heat cycles, since everything is fresh in the motor, since I got more so the rings. The bearings, not so much, but when you got new rings in there, you do gotta heat cycle it a couple times before you bear down on it if you wanna play it safe. So I'm gonna heat sink it a couple times, and then I'm ready for action. I'm gonna load up here and we can get busy. I am going to change the oil because I put some like rinky-dink Valvoline 10W40 motorcycle oil in there just to do the initial hit. And I'm gonna go ahead and put another oil filter on there. There's a brand new one on there, but I'm gonna do another oil filter and a fluid change on the oil when I get to the racetrack. After I heat cycle it a couple times or whatever, just to make sure that I got fresh oil in there, and if there's any like wear from the new rings or the new bearings and it goes into the oil, I can catch it and put fresh oil in, and I should have a money sounding motor. So all right guys, let's get this thing rolling, because we gotta load up, we gotta get down there, we gotta get a spot. It's gonna be packed this weekend, and I'm not trying to be in all of the ruckus or whatever on Saturday. So it's Thursday. We're gonna get down there by like 6, 7 o'clock, get us a parking spot, camp out for a day, and then Friday is go time, but I don't qualify until 9 o'clock that night. So I may take a couple test hits during Friday morning, pay to get in a test pass class, either like a test and tune or whatever they got going on, just to make sure everything is sound. May have to adjust the tune a little bit, but we'll work all the details out. Holla.